In this video, I want to go over the simplest and fastest way to set up VS Code such that you can run C++ files and also see compiler errors in VS Code itself. Obviously, VS Code can detect simple errors. So if you're trying to assign a string to an integer variable, it's going to be able to detect that. If you're trying to access an undefined variable, it's going to be able to detect that. However, if you try to set an integer to a double, VS Code is not going to be able to detect that. That's kind of the job of the compiler. Notice how we are trying to set b to be an integer of 10.1, but this should basically be an error. I have a Makefile here, which is doing this command, which is pretty much the simplest way to set up and run a C++ file. The problem with this approach is that we're not going to see any errors here. So let's see what happens, right? I'm going to do make, and you're going to see here that there's a bunch of errors and warnings when I try to make this code. There's a implicit conversion here. It's saying that type double cannot be narrowed to integer. These are the warnings that we're seeing, but we're not seeing this inside of VS Code. That is not a good developer experience. So what I wanted to figure out was, how do I get those warnings to show up if I compile and run code? Now, for this, what you're going to need to do is first get the C++ extension from the VS Code extensions marketplace. The next thing you're going to want to do is go to your settings.json, which you could get to by pressing Command-Shift-P, settings.json. And here I've configured a couple things. So I've configured the settings for this extension here. I'm using C++ 11, Clang, and here are sort of the compiler args that I'm going for. And now I'm going to open up the folder here. And there's going to be a .vs code file opening up. Now I'm going to press Command-Shift-P, run it. And if I press enter here, it's going to create a new file here called tasks.json. Cool. So what you're going to see here is that once I run the file, immediately we get the errors. This is exactly what we want. But one of the problems with this approach is that it ends up doing a couple of extra things that we don't need. And it also doesn't run the program once it compiles it. So let's fix those two things. As you can see, this file kind of just is a task for VS Code to compile the code. Now what I like to do is remove the -g flag, and at the end of this, what I'm going to add is $&, and then I'm going to do ./main. So what this is telling is first compile the code, and then run the ./main file. I'm going to save that. Command-Shift-P, run. First of all, I'm really glad that these errors are not just showing up in the console, but they're also showing up in VS Code. Again, that's exactly what we want. So let's fix these errors really quickly. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to press save. These errors won't go away until we recompile and run. So I'm going to press Command-Shift-P and run that file again. And this time we should see that it's working as expected. As you can see, this is kind of the better way to run C++ code in VS Code. The simplest way to do it is to create a Makefile. That's not going to show the errors here. If I do Command-Z, save this file, let's do make. And yeah, again, the warnings are here, but they're not in VS Code. So what we're going to instead want to do is do Command-Shift-P, run it through VS Code so that VS Code can kind of detect these errors and highlight them for us. And then we can, actually fix them pretty easily. That's pretty much how you set up C++ to work in VS Code such that the errors actually show up. And now if I run it, then once I fix the errors and run it, then as you can see, it pretty much works as expected. Hopefully you guys learned now why this is a better approach than using the Makefile, and it's still pretty simple, so hopefully you can add it to your workflows. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.